Okay, so I wasn't sure which video to watch next of Max0r. I do want to see the Doom one and the Metal Gear Solid 3 one, but more than that, I think I want to watch the Genshin Impact one. So let's take a look at these Genshin Impact videos. I'll start with the one from 3 years ago, and then I'll watch the one from 1 year ago.
Genshin Impact is a game which has...
Oh my god, that's loud.
Genshin Impact is a game which has sucked away my soul and killed my...
Wait, why did he...
I first began playing...
He sounds completely different. What? I know this is from 3 years ago. I think this one... Wow, he sounds completely different.
Genshin Impact because of all the cute women, then experienced apotheosis and a philosophical enlightenment through the death of my own ego. I love Genshin Impact, but this game will have an impact on your social life, and even after you stop playing, you will not recover. To this day, it has
a complete waste of time. I'll say that right now.
Sophisticated molding, and I recommend it for all the wrong reasons. In this game, you play as John Impact, an extra-dimensional being whose brother was eaten by Mega Blocks and is forced to navigate Avatar: The Last Airbender for weeaboos. Powered by its simple chemistry system in which characters electrocute, burn, and throw rocks at each other. One of those is much less cool, but it, like Australopithecus, was my primary source of damage. Now,
how's his voice so much... It sounds like higher pitched. Like his new videos are like, hey, this is Max0r, and today we're going to show you how to beat up children. Maybe he does it on purpose now?
Trapped in the land of gotcha hell, our protagonist must find a way to save our siblings by fighting geometry, the indigenous inhabitants of Twitter, space midgets, and the ice KGB. As well, we are here to explore, solve puzzles, play prop hunt, cook, get arrested for looking at Zhongling too much, get sentenced to 10 years,
14!
And
wait, how old is she? I don't know her age. Zhongling is a culinary prodigy at the young age of 14 years old. Zhongling is the waitress and head chef of the family business Wanmin restaurant.
Too much. Get sentenced to 10
I did have
years
her.
And emerge from prison a devout Buddhist. This video is going to be about my experience playing this interesting game and how to objectively have the most fun with it. It's a very bad sign when most people who play the game don't recommend it, but I do. Although I am slightly...
Just like League of Legends.
A dingus, so I don't recommend you take my opinion as fact, but as entertainment. So whether you're new to this strange, otherworldly Chinese software or a Genshin pro, please allow me to tell you the tale of how this left a Genshin impact into my frontal lobe. Here's a fun tip that most Genshin players don't know. The age of consent is 18 years old. Let's begin with what's maximally important. Not the gameplay, not the story, nor anything you would...
I will say I got up to like level 50 in this game, so I do have a fair amount of experience in it. Level 42 or 50, somewhere around there.
Typically associate with a video game. The single most important thing in this game is rolling dice to gain attractive people and then parading them around like a child on TLC. I do not exaggerate when I say this is probably what attracted most people to this game. If you want an example, Lisa is a character who continually refers to herself as One-sama and sounds like she is at all times on the verge of sex. I received her after completing a quest.
She moans when climbing.
I use Lisa exclusively to do rock climbing. That way, I could repeatedly hear her oddly enthusiastic.
Yep. There we go. There we go.
Gameplay. I literally installed this game after downloading 60 images of Ganyu, since the official lore of the game specifies that she killed a monster after being eaten by it because her ass was so big it blocked his trachea and suffocated him to death. However, there is a catch.
I don't believe that.
Ganyu, and I never will. You have a random chance to get characters, and that chance.
I have Ganyu on my main account. I did get Ganyu, but I did not want Ganyu. I think I was trying to get Mona. I think I got 2 Ganyus.
It isn't high. 5.1%.
I also got
Kiki. Getting anyone. So if you want
Kiki.
to pick another character, get fucked. You could have your very first role be a high-level DPS character that carries you through the game with chimpanzee martial arts. Or you could roll 3 useless small boys in a row and then desire death. It's a fucking guy. God damn it. And while I'm writing about bad things that could be deal breakers, the anti-cheat for this game is very strong and has ring 0 permissions on your kernel. This means that it can read and write memory at any location in your computer without seg faulting.
That doesn't sound good. I actually didn't know that.
It does harvest my computer's data.
I know that Riot Games, League of Legends had kernel access. Wait, no, Valorant. I don't know about League of Legends. I didn't know this game had that too.
all he will find is 50 pages of Waluigi hentai. It's your loss. And yes, it does turn off when the game isn't running. So this review is going to include a guide on how to have fun, because like real life, lusting after women causes suicidal depression. Step 1. Play as optimally as you want. Do not try to min-max shit, because RNGesus will snap your fucking neck. Do whatever is fun with whatever you have. In my case, I decided that I would roleplay as a violent misandrist and only play as women out of principle. Any men that I rolled would be locked at level 1 and made useful in the coal mines. It is simply not worth it for me to engage in combat if I cannot.
Hey, there's some cute boys in this game.
Also yank it. The central point of the characters is that they are potential wives,
I'll post pictures of them.
Definitely 1000% secure in my masculinity. Playing the game optimally in this case would mean making the game boring and staring at man ass, so fuck it. If, for instance, I had wanted a particular legally questionable female to be my digital puppet, the chance of me receiving that would be 0.3 digital particular so mean making the game boring and staring at.
This is not a man. I think we can agree on that. This is a... Ooh, I don't even know what to call it.
Man ass, so fuck it. If, for instance, I had wanted a particular legally questionable female to be my digital puppet, the chance of me receiving that would be 0.3%, which is where this image comes from. Take what you can get with the roles. Don't be mad. Exercise patience and control, and you will have a lot more fun. I definitely have not sold my house to get big-titted pirate mommy. But Max0r, I hear your thoughts. Why are you displaying a single image of a regular crab on my screen? And also, what is the world of Genshin Impact, and why are we here? That is a great question, James. Because before we get into the exploration and the combat, we must first understand the context with which I run my beauty pageant. And like every game made by Asian people on my channel, the lore is some Hyperborean bullshit. So let's say rule number 2 of enjoying the game is not caring about this, just like 90% of the player base.
I didn't pay much attention to the lore.
The world of Teyvat is ruled collectively by 7 gods who govern the 7 elements.
I think Venti is one of them.
God. He's special. This came about because 2,800 years ago, there were like 80 gods or something. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. No, but actually 7 seals opened up in heaven, so literally every god fought over their power to the death. The result was the 7 gods of each element we see today, each ruling over their own nation in their own fucked up ways. Every once in a while, these delusional bastards will just give random people superpowers. Like how the electricity god just gave a girl with a mental disorder a talking bird. This also includes small children who could very possibly kill themselves for some reason. Now, the world you see in game takes place in 2 nations, or 3 if you're from the future.
But then they changed their voice and I did not like that.
A lawless, anarcho-capitalist commune in New Hampshire which has no formal governance of any kind. They instead rely institutionally on vigilante justice, including a hot Batman. As a result, an entire territory of their nation is completely overrun with wolves. No one has the systemic authority to stop people from exercising their rights and liberties to feed the wolves babies. Oh, also, there's the fucking dragon problem. Did I not mention the murderous dragon? Next, we have the nation of
I never saw the dragon, actually. That one.
Country to the east. They have recently come into conflict with Mondstadt due to the Lu Hua Pool massacre of 69, as well as an aggressive foreign policy involving a 9-dashed line in the Sea of Clouds, headed by the Tian Xuan Ningguang of the Liyue Qixing. Those are all real names. Liyue exhibits an unprecedented level of prosperity and control.
Too much Chinese names.
The watchful eye of the rock
hard to remember anything.
Disguises himself to ensure that the populace is behaving well and upholding their state contracts, just in case. Now, China, I know you're new to making video games, yet in my country, we have a long history of shooting people. But who lives in Liyue and who lives in where is in? The answer is
I think China has a history
populating this
something similar to that as well.
Factions of enemies with subgroups, elemental specializations, and fucking bullshit. The enemy variety of this game paints a picture of a post-apocalyptic nightmare world where raving bands of savages constantly destroy everything, locking humanity in a perpetual state of warfare with armies of bandits and the midget people. One of these groups is...
You don't really kill anything in this game. It's kind of... like, I understand why, but it's not like you're cutting anything's head off or anything. Everything kind of just, like, knocks out or, like, disappears. I don't really understand the lore behind that.
The Hilichurls, an intelligent race capable of empathy and complex thoughts, which is why they must be destroyed. These guys make the Gombe Chimpanzee War look like a fucking joke, and at no point does anyone in the entire game even give a shred of sympathy for the Hilichurls, except for Elon Musk. They can be big gorilla, small monkey, operate complex machinery, and have their own language. This makes it more fun to slaughter entire villages of them and steal their possessions with no consequences.
I mean, they don't really die? I mean,
overall, I would rate them a genocide.
Do they? I don't don't know.
10. Next are the country-sized hordes of organized bandits called the Treasure Hoarders, who are just regular guys forced to fight you with shovels and Molotov cocktails. Are you sure we're
Not
the
a lot
good
of black
guys?
people in this
It's
game.
fortunate that because they committed a crime, their lives are now forfeit. Abyss mages are very simple because they are one enemy with 2 reskins, who are also inhuman beings of the Dark Void who have sworn vengeance upon humanity itself.
These guys are annoying.
Almost entirely in fucking space. The Fatui of Snezhnaya are heavily armed diplomats seeking to dominate the world of Teyvat through subterfuge, and employing 9-foot-tall people with hammers is absolutely conducive to this goal.
The Giga Chad race.
They are unique among Teyvat because they serve the interests of the Tsaritsa of Snezhnaya, also known as the God of Ice. That's important because it's very weird that they primarily use electricity and fire. I guess the Ice God is just fucking lazy. The Fatui are always up to no good, like stealing the Wind God's power or like a bank heist. They're
Why is
also
everybody
really
trying to kill
hot, so I'm
Venti?
not stopping them. Finally, we have the
What did he do?
wildlife of Teyvat, which is 90%
Seems like a nice guy.
10% these fuckers. I spent most of the fight waiting to do something.
Computer deactivate iguana.
That's really what the combat is all about. Sometimes it's like, holy fuck, that is a whale. And other times it's like, I think that bush just fucking
That's
really.
most
No
of the
matter what
game,
happens,
running
you're in for an
on green
experience.
grass.
Let's find out if that's bad or worse.
Killing the same enemy for the 1000th time.
Shit Getting Intact is a game about flow, where to maximize their power, the player dynamically switches between their DPS character and everyone else. Rule number 3 of Genshin Impact: pick one. Your typical team is comprised of your DPS baby, your heal support, your burst support, and moral support. Think of it like a train. You only need one engine and enough weight to kill Terry Davis. Now, like everything, characters have elemental alignments, which, depending on the enemy, can ruin the game. My wife Barbara could heal me, but in the process, must make everyone wet, which makes us a proverbial bathtub, which enemies will then catapult toasters into for massive damage. It's a fucking blast. You feel like a chemistry professor gone rogue, using the elements to his advantage and then blowing himself up in the process. Unless your DPS uses
Fire
rocks,
really
in
that
which
good
case,
against
you know,
rock?
Just watch, I guess. Everything is elements, and
don't
everyone
know.
has an elemental skill and alignment.
I don't understand
unless
elements.
You're the nature god who has no characters. Some are bad, and others are very bad. But many are completely game-changing, like how Beto's elemental skill adds a parry mechanic to the game, or how Ningguang invalidates all ranged enemies. The combat is definitely its
can you
strength,
shoot
and
through
is an
that?
experiment in how bad you can craft your psychotic
As
dog water
Ningguang.
alchemy, and hopefully create a moving ball of destruction strong enough to kill God. To extend this concept, every character uses one of 5 unique weapon classes, such as Mongolian, Controller Erosion, the Waiting Game, Egg Catapults, and the Speed Demon. So be careful with who you choose and what weapons that— oh wait, no, it's random. Get fucked. Now, this would all be excellent gameplay if it didn't sometimes amount to throwing 2 sponges at each other. Enemies scale to your level, and generally health is not hard to come by. So depending on your investment, some enemies could take minutes to kill. This all amounts to making a classic video game
very
build
fun
with
game.
a tank entirely useless. You don't need a tank because you will be switching to your DPS anyways, who is a tank against your will. Health is literally always a shackle and a curse. That is, of course, unless you're playing Barbara, whose healing scales only off of health, making her tankier than Tiananmen. Let's go over an example.
Wait, tankier than Tiananmen? That's a pretty good one, actually.
Combat scenarios to cause forest
I don't think
fires
MiHoYo
by
would like that.
spicy bear. Why? Well, it's obvious. My DPS Beto can parry anything, which includes the heat of fire. Or how about Ningguang, who spawns a wall inside of enemies like it's Gary's mod? We just do it to piss them off. Did I also mention you can invite your insane Discord stalker to play co-op with you? The combat is fully functional.
Hello, Max.
I made a mistake, and this isn't even going into the complicated system by which you customize artifacts, upgrade your weapon, and level your character's talents, because that's boring. It can be made especially boring when you have to pick 30 mushrooms to do it, but you know, here we are. That leads me to my next point. You're gonna have to explore for those mushrooms, and that sounds bad, but it's actually the best part. Get ready for some cross-country gaming, because we literally have a lot of ground to cover. So rule number 4 of Genshin Impact is that if you see something, just go. You've probably noticed at some point that this game looks identical to Breath of the Wild, right down to the UI. This is an objectively correct assessment. It's just that the game doesn't give a shit, and neither should we. Breath of the Wild was so good that I wanted Breath of the Wild with—
I didn't play that game.
Because, god damn it, why did Nintendo make Zelda look like that? The amount of bandits and foreign soldiers in this game suddenly makes sense when you realize it has the geography of fucking Afghanistan. It's quite the vertical place, but you're given the tools to navigate it, like your feet or your sweat. And there is quite a bit to see PC. So, for an example, when I first installed the game,
It definitely did that
didn't
moaning
know that
stuff on
Liyue
purpose.
was in it. That's over half of the map. I was doing a quest that required a wild radish, so I naturally went hiking to find it and accidentally discovered the entirety of Ming Dynasty China, at which point I was wrongfully assaulted after being mistaken for opium. This is one of those games where you start finding chests in the wild and within 30 minutes are flying to a strange island with a man named Jeffrey. It's actually not that different to Skyrim, but this game makes Skyrim look like it's in Kansas. There is always something to do and always something to find. You would think that it would get stale, but they just keep finding ways to turn on my neurons. There is a puzzle.
I just wanted the chest.
Which spans an entire region of the game where you have to climb 3 mountains. You can spend an afternoon doing that and it's viable. There is no direction that you can go that will not help you in some tangible way, and that's what's important about X. It's optimal. You see the shit right here. This activates
Blue
my
thing?
fucking almonds. Exploring this game trains your neurons to fire at the most basic of incentives, like a lab chimp. But seriously, if you aren't yet considering the game, just have fun exploring it, stop and smell the flowers, and accidentally find China over a vegetable. I found it eventually. It took 3 hours. Now, if the review had ended here, this would be a definite recommend because the game is free. It costs $0. It cannot yank your bank. Not that I would know. But I must warn you that there are some serious drawbacks besides the fucking Chinese surveillance state that you have to install. So it's time to give
Complete
you the
waste of
final tools
time
and
that it
rules
is.
that you need to enjoy this game. Regula numerus quinque of Genshin Impact is just, please God, use the resin every day. So to explain that, you have to understand that this game works by mostly giving you what you want when you seek it out.
Unless it's crit damage.
So you don't end up mindlessly slogging for 10 hours a day for a single goddamn Warframe chassis, but there is a catch. When it comes to grinding, there is a clever way to make sure that you can't trivialize the entire game, which is that the game just stops you. You expend resin when you kill a boss, want money, want XP, want artifacts, want to live, want to see my
Limits
daughter,
you,
pretty
it's
much anything.
insane.
And if you have no resin, well, better wait. God will collect his existence tax and you will fucking pay. Even if you live in Mondstadt, the IRS is an eternal fixture of the universe. And although it's nice to have fair guarantees for artifacts, it has the unique side effect of stopping the game from being played. You get 160 a day, and for reference, you spend 40 for boss loot, so good luck. And if you thought that was bad, get ready for Rule 6, which is, yeah, you gotta do the daily quests. We Genshin players are always hard at work on the daily
This
dopamine
game is
farm,
slavery,
putting that grind
honestly.
so that we can have a
I'm so
full
glad I
survival
stopped playing.
every 20 days. It really makes a man wonder why we bothered with making murder illegal in the first place. Thank you, Kane. This game can give you a lot if you decide to commit yourself to it. But if you don't,
20 primo
you will be
gems,
scraping
let's
for crack
go.
crystals in a back
20
alley, maybe make a
primos.
YouTube video. That alone is probably enough to discourage most people. I thought I was going to be one of those people until I realized that I liked the game. Stockholm Syndrome is actually cool. And for our final rule, you don't want to play with English voices. Set it to literally
What?
any other language except English. Now, the voice work
I
isn't
like the English
horrendous,
voices.
but,
Pretty good.
It doesn't sound like the dialogue
Paimon's
is actually
English is
written
very
for
funny.
English, and the translation is fucking hilarious.
The wolves frighten him so badly that he's paralyzed with fear.
We've looked everywhere and haven't seen any of the wolves.
So do what I do and play in Japanese, then switch the game to Chinese whenever you're in Liyue for maximal immersion.
感受到盐的元素力了吗？
Dear Mr. Sheep, please send missiles to liberate my
I
country
prefer
from
English,
capitalism.
but-
Now that you're armed with what you need, should you play the
Some of the random goons, like the males, yeah, those sound pretty generic.
game? Only if you
No.
have self-control. It's not worth it to spend money on the game. I'm serious, and that's why you should give me your money so I can spend it responsibly. Remember, the game is free, and so is the porn. I would like to thank the kind Chinese
That was the best statement in the whole video. Don't play the game, just look at the corn. Look at the corn.
billionaires and international arms dealers of the Max0r Patreon for funding my hopeless and deadly addictions. If you would like to help fund the videos corrupting America's youth in the name of Naxalite Maoism, you can head to the description to learn more. Thank you all for watching and waiting, and of course, your IP address has already been traced.
He must have turned up like the bass in his microphone or something. He sounds a lot deeper now. All right, we'll watch the more recent one next.
This video is a cry for help. Genshin Impact is a playable anime, and that's
There we go. There's the Max0r voice that I know.
Anime. I can't believe it, guys. They made a sequel to Stockholm Syndrome. Welcome to the world of Teyvat. You may have heard
I
of
saw
it from all
Skara.
the free advertising that I'm doing. A beautiful post-apocalyptic nightmare world featuring a giant tree. Sorry, that's the wrong game. On our journey throughout the
So far this seems like it's a remastered version of the older video. I'm assuming it's not like a part 2. It's kind of just like a remaster of the first video.
7 nations, we will meet the world's most colorful cast of children, entrusted and empowered by the gods to wield elemental energy as dangerously as possible. I'm just a big fan of the characters in this game. There is no reason in particular. Assemble your team of heroic psychopaths and begin blasting, loading, cooking your enemies alive, visiting Baby's first casino, and with enough time, it will become Baby's last casino. But most importantly, have fun, because the game will try to stop you. I can assure you that the visual novels are exactly what Da Wei intended. So join me as I navigate one of the most beautiful, fantastical, and expensive game worlds ever made, one agonizing country at a time. This is it, guys. This is what $900 million can buy you. Are you having fun yet? Look, all I'm trying to say is, this is a weird episode of Ava.
I don't know if I've ever had fun playing this game. I'll just admit that. Probably have like 200-300 hours or something. Did I just see a child die? The fuck? How's that? Is that legal? How's that even allowed? Okay.
Wow, I haven't been here in 2 years. Welcome back to Mondstadt, and yes, the game still displays your IP address, just in case you're a little bit too critical. This place is where the player learns how to fight, learns how to kill innocent animals, learns that they are bisexual as soon as they see Kaya. So I think it's a great opportunity to teach the basics, and nothing else. The environment here looks like it shares a polygon. I think a good place to start is with our team, the Fulganasauria. Official. Every crew got the schizophrenic, personality disorder, mentally and physically deranged, wife material. I'm serious about characters. That. There's a quest where you enter her mind and she fights her tulpa.
What?
User license agreement. Literally the only
I didn't know that.
UBS, possibly
that's actually kind of
cool.
cool.
Has the biggest slappy in Tevat, Cock, and Rosaria.
Girl, that was all over Twitter for like
so we need to cover her up in appropriate garments. God, I wish nuns were real. With our team assembled, we are now able to do nothing because I haven't explained the game. Genshin Impact is a based character RPG where each character wields one of the 7 elements, all of them interacting completely nonsensically. Water buffs fire, ice freezes water, plants buff electricity, a fucking gas leak. Dendro requires 9 tabs of Khan Academy. My team is based on not playing the game as much as possible. There is genuinely no cooldown to freeze. By the way, what I'm showing you now is considered tame. The game is actually supposed to look sub-mentally deranged. The numbers are helping me to understand what's happening. Of course, some characters are bad, and others are very bad, but many are absolutely game-changing. There are characters that straight up allow me to fly, at least through regular means. This one fights with a pogo stick, and this one
is that how that girl flies? That's kind of funny.
-87. The game also allows us to choose from a lot of weapons. I think I have a few copies. Each one with their own properties and substats. Sometimes too many substats. Like goddamn, I'm fighting with a Wikipedia page. We've got bows, spears, paddles, big fish, sentient umbrella, child's bomb instructions. I hope you can see why there's a lot of variation. And also theory crafting. A lot of Chinese theory crafting. They take this game very seriously. Like right outside of a KFC seriously. And if you're wondering about the gambling, well hell, we'll get to it later. I have a lot to say about it. But for now, welcome to the land of the Anemo god.
I don't think I remember gambling. I might have not got into that or never tried it.
This guy's
I don't really care much for gambling.
No, Chad, I'm not going to do that yoinky splinky. Oh my god, he just doesn't give a fuck. So what if I just oh no.
I like the Hilly Charl dances.
Stopped. Well, I guess if you can't beat him. Mondstadt is a depopulated anarchist state where there are no taxes, no police, and half the country is controlled by wolves. Wolves that you never actually see, unless you want to count Razor. I mean, there's the giant wolf, but he's kind of special.
I used to kill this guy all the time.
What's the dog doing? As a result of this, nobody in Mondstadt has any money. Except for the church, of course.
She the hottest character in the game. Maybe top 2. I would say hottest character in the game.
The city is undergoing a crippling wine epidemic. Look, I just think it's a serious funding issue when the cavalry captain doesn't have a horse. Therefore, most of your time is going to be spent cleaning up their mess. Their singular mess. Because there is only one enemy in Mondstadt. Yes, from the beautiful ruins of old to the peaks of Dragon's
I also got like a twin tail bias.
Are Hiliturals, a sentient race capable of empathy and complex thoughts. which is why they must be destroyed. Literally take a random location in Mondstadt. You are 10 seconds
like
away from a hill.
natives.
Why is that one unbirthing itself?
No.
Really cool that the only organization in Mondstadt is dedicated to race war. They even have their own language, which I'm being quizzed on. Honestly, I'm a bit of a yay dada man myself. Really feeling
Yay dada.
yay today. Don't say Nini Zito, it's basically a slur. They didn't like that.
Mimi
Look, what I'm
Zito.
trying to say is this place has problems, but ultimately they are cool problems. Mondstadt may not be that varied, well designed, or even have a story that I can't summarize in one sentence. The dragon was mean, and then he was nice. Sun Tzu. But ultimately, this is just the beginning of a long, long journey. This game is planned out 7 years in advance. So as far as the basics go, there is no better teacher than Mondstadt. But pretty much just the basics. I don't think I'm
Please don't blow up Hu Tao, please. Venti, you could blow him up.
What the fuck am I seeing?
I don't like his clothes.
Okay, can you stop playing for a sec?
No.
I need to go to my teapot!
Scar is very pretty.
For the next stop on our War Crimes tour of the Balkans, we're heading to the Funny Nation. Post about this nation to instantly gain Reddit karma. And for that, we're going to need to climb as high as we can so we can deduce the direction. So we're going to this location on the map. If only there was a better way to view the world. Make sure to land on the elevator. Next, we're going to shit. We're going to 1 second. We're going to ascend to space. Why does that work like that?
That's what's happening in Official's mind.
The planet's receding. I am alone in this hell on Earth. I think I'm gonna be here for a little bit. You know it's real bad when the moon is physically below you. Hang on guys, it's getting kind of dark, so I'm just gonna change the time real quick. Yeah, the game lets you do that. Well folks, it was nice knowing you all.
What?
Never mind. Hey guys, Max0r here, and welcome to China. It's just China. I really hope I didn't just tank myself for credit. In our previous of adventures, we explored Mondstadt to learn the basic mechanics, and also race relations. So for leeway, we're going to learn that we've been playing the game wrong. But before I can get to that, I need to explain my team. I call it the hot shower by force. Lord knows we need it.
Wait.
Game wrong. But before I can get to that, I need to explain my team.
Wait.
Explain my team.
This is like the cutest pose in the game. What Hu Tao does.
I call it the hot shower by force. Lord knows we need it. Xi Jinping. Yes, this is a man. I know it's hard to tell. He is also ridiculously broken on account of his ability to make enemies wet. Interpret that information however you want. Hu Tao is the owner of a funeral parlor, and she could use a bit of new business. She is also the winner of the Most Terrifying Sims Award. Like, the thread just doesn't end. He's still writing them. Most reasonable Hu Tao.
Most Terrifying Sims?
Is a character that I play for the personality. She is also one of the most overpowered units in
What
the
a
game.
amazing personality.
I don't even care.
I know so much about her.
I can fix her. And Toma, who is fucking spelled wrong. Just don't build Toma. With our team assembled, we are now able to trivialize the combat because this team is ridiculous. But fortunately, Genshin is not just a game about combat. It's a game about gambling. You see, Genshin Impact is what we call a gacha game because it has got me in its grasp, which means that the primary...
By gambling, they're talking about the gacha? Well, I've tried that, I guess.
Game mechanic is chance.
I thought there was like an in-game like card mechanic or something.
Character is chance. Every weapon is chance. Every piece of every build is fucking chance. Do you know what it's like to have a mathematically impossible goblet? Goddamn elating. Hey, so I see you're trying to level up your crit rate. Well, that's a weird way to spell defense. Fortunately, we can predict the outcomes of our character rolls using some Eastern philosophies. And the answer is 105 on average. But don't worry, you've got a lot of time. I guess we're gonna wait a day.
Nice.
Because only a few 5 stars are actually available, and sometimes they aren't available. For 483 days, she is in prison for racism.
But what are they going to do? Lock me up?
So naturally,
wait, what?
Addiction.
The voice actor? His voice actor was allegedly caught grooming minors? What?
So naturally, we need to feed our gambling addiction at any cost.
Excuse me?
And there's a few ways to do that. You could explore more, go on fantastic adventures, or find amazing treasures. If you want to stay poor.
I can't. I gotta look that up. Voice actor, Genshin, grooming minors. Let's see if it's the same guy. Okay, yeah. The dude with the ears. The dude with the ears. After communications with the voice recording agency, we hereby confirm that Elliot Gindi, the English voice actor for Tigger, I'm gonna call him Tigger, will no longer be voicing the character in subsequent versions due to a breach of contract. At present, we are communicating with the voice recording agency regarding matters of casting and re-recording. We will gradually replace existing voice lines. Okay. Dude had like 4 credits and Genshin was his biggest one. Barely started getting fans and immediately started trying to groom underage girls. Guy is a monster. Glad he was caught early and destroyed his career now instead of catching it years after the fact. What the fuck? Elliot broke his contract. Now he has to suffer the wrath of the Rock. Considering how long these kinds of things typically take, this is relatively quick. Good stuff. I hope people understand that revoicing takes time. So don't be surprised if you hear Elliot in the next update. Respect the no tolerance standpoint. Jesus Christ.
You see, the real money is made in the daily quests, which are a series of useful and normal missions, such as
80 Primo
people,
Gems.
murdering those people, talking to the Hillagirls very nicely, finding the weasel, where do you go, and jumping on mushrooms. Who the fuck commissioned me to do this? We also have the power to send various characters on 20-hour expeditions directly to the coal mines. Look, guys, I really need these 2,000 upgrade materials. It's just best
Send
you
the
don't think about it
mails.
too hard.
Greetings, traveler. Ad Astra Abyssal.
Okay.
What can I do for you
Is that
today?
Iron
Yeah,
Mouse?
I'd like to,
Yeah, it is
send a
Iron
child to
Mouse.
the coal mines.
What?
Put her in for 20 hours.
But traveler, she's going to die.
The lithium is not going to mine itself, Catherine.
But traveler.
Do not question me, Catherine, or I'll have you stabbed in a future quest. Liyue is an authoritarian, militaristic oligarchy controlled by a committee of really hot lesbians. I believe in Ganyu supremacy. This
Agree. I agree.
nation is the land of contracts,
Wait,
and
what
by
the- who's
entering,
that?
you have made of really hot lesbians. I believe in Ganyu supremacy.
That is not Ganyu. I don't have her because her gameplay kind of sucks. What? I used her. She seemed pretty good.
This nation is the land of contracts, and by entering, you have made the contract to not criticize the state. Consequently, Liyue is also where all money is printed on the planet. So,
Rip Taiwan.
Stats economy is powered by hopes and dreams. And also, the card game. Look, Timmy, I know your dad's dead and all, but do you want to play Gwent? A minor side effect of this is that Liyue is in the midst of a violent crime epidemic. As in, the majority of
There is
those
a card
in Liyue
game.
are human.
I think I played
and
it like
even worse,
once.
they're poor. So poor, in fact, that they're forced to fight you with Molotov cocktails and farming equipment. What is your plan, my guy? The masculine urge to dig a hole. By the
level
way, we're the good
84
guys.
farmer.
Speaking of digging holes,
He's farmed for
we should
84
probably address
generations.
this. It's a little difficult to ignore. You see, there are many
strength of
beautiful
84
places to see
farmers.
in Liyue, such as Night City, the fucking rice fields, the most annoying place to navigate on the earth. Like, please stop giving me commissions here. And then we have the Chasm, which is a secret underground labyrinth containing all of the game's eldritch horrors. And yes, this is just the entrance to the Chasm.
Whoa, 31,000
Yeah,
HP
there's no sound
gone.
effect to that. If you die down here, no one will hear your screams. As soon as you think you're done exploring,
I don't
it
know
just-
this
it
area.
just
I
keeps
didn't
going
get
down.
this high level.
The devs had to add moon shoes to the game so I could keep playing it. Now that we're trapped down here, we only have 2 options remaining. We need to
Kinda
mine
cool.
and we need to craft. The second part will come later. Okay, so now it's later. Unfortunately, I cannot craft a sense of humor.
Does he really not
What I'm
have
trying to
Ganyu?
say is
Oh, he
Liyue
doesn't
is
like
a very
using
diverse
Ganyu.
place. Certainly more diverse than Hilichurl Field Number 6. But most importantly, Liyue is a land of questions.
gotta use your
What
waifu.
secrets lie in this mysterious land? What adventures are still to be had? Am I gay now? It's almost enough to make you forget the nightmare pit. And look, Liyue might have a few issues with organized crime, sea monster attacks,
And children abuse.
and the landscape always trying to kill me. But hey, at least the story's up. It's okay. Can anyone here tell me why like there's a why there's like a giant bird next to me? It's weird. Oh fuck, where am I? Diagon Alley.
What's up, gang? It's me, Artakito. What?
I hate that guy. I don't like that character.
Okay guys, listen, we need to reach Japan. Don't worry, I have a plan to bypass immigration. We are going to walk there. Yes, that's right, we're going to... Excuse me,
Wait,
we're going
what?
to travel underneath the ocean. So apparently I just have to, That actually worked.
The back
Okay, I
rooms.
think I've,
Wait, what?
Made a mistake. It's time to descend into the abyssal zone. Just to watch out for the void. what do I do about this? So I think I've been walking for
I don't think I've ever experienced a bug in Genshin.
I don't like this anymore. Okay, we're pretty close now, so I don't think we're close enough. Please no, please no, please no. How am I driving there? What is up, my Thades and Gentlethems? Welcome to the land of Inazuma.
Wait,
home to
what'd he say?
nobody, because no one is properly housed in Inazuma. Previously, Mondstadt taught us how to play, and Lee Wade taught us how to simp. Well, the land of lightning is here to teach us that we have not felt true pain yet. But first, let's go over our team, which I will be calling the, Yandere Benzos. Yai Miko, Mami,
Does this
sorry.
game have... Okay, does it have outfits? I know there's like very simple ones, but I think this game would do a lot better if the outfits can be used in the game. Because I've seen some other ones. I don't know how much usage they get in the game.
Sigma female, kidnapped a man and force feminized him. God, I wish that was me.
Traveler, I'm making a call-out post to my twitter.com.
What the fuck are you saying?
I'm gonna piss on the fucking moon.
Bruce. You can literally name him Bruce. That is actually how it appears in game.
Bruce?
In fact, we can name him all kinds of things, such as Baby Girl, Dr. Ligma,
How's he so cute?
Ball Fart, Testicles. What is that? And last but not least, Hokashish, Hatsune Miku. This is literally just Miku. Like, they didn't even try to hide it. And Bennett, who is the single most overpowered unit in the game. Like, Genshin doesn't have
I see the
power
resemblance,
because of Bennett.
but...
Send this bitch to the coal mines and have his
Not
testicles
really.
exploded. Now, my previous teams, they were kind of nice, but this time, I'm not playing nice. I'm playing for funny numbers. Every single member is optimized beyond the boundaries of reason. I rolled 6 copies of Hatsune Miku, and now I can kill Tortellini in 2 attacks. It cost $50. Also, Bruce can fly, like actual flight. It breaks like half the game's AI when you do it. They're just very confused. My entire team is him shooting down at the peasants like an attack helicopter. Just don't ask me how long I farmed for this. I had to grind for this view. Hang on a fucking second. She's wearing socks in the water. Something is horribly wrong with this country. Inazuma is a
Anime characters can't get wet.
dictatorship, mostly occupied by catastrophic disasters, both natural and man-made, but mostly man-made. Me and the fellas watching Oppenheimer in the IMAX. Inazuma is also engulfed in a decades-long civil war, resulting in mass unemployment and a refugee crisis. Naturally, this is reflected in the enemy variety, because to visit Inazuma is to be accosted by hundreds of jacked homeless people. Like, these guys just stand in the rain all day. How do the Hilichurls have more shelter than this? It is also a land of many islands, which all act as their own individual insurgencies. So I think this is a great opportunity
Just
to
dying to random bolts of lightning.
Inazuma. You know, besides the fucking puzzles. This shit is the work of Satan. Narukami Island is the only place in Inazuma resembling a civilization. The rest is basically just Martin Luther King Boulevard. The only disaster this island has to worry about is the government, and her name is the Raiden Shogun. Kanazuka is the first island to be made uninhabitable by nuclear
very
weapons
popular
testing, which then
titty
proceeds
girl.
to leak out of the elephant's foot in an amount so dangerous it makes Chernobyl look like clown college. I mean, I guess there's also the Kujo encampment, but we don't go to the Kujo encampment.
The Fujo encampment.
Well, that's enough of that. Wait a minute. What the fuck? Yashiori is an absolute nightmare on account of the non-stop lightning storm and slightly imposing giant skull. My favorite activity is going to this place. It limits the land the lightning can strike, so it just fucking whacks you. Looks like another beautiful day in the great land of Inazuma. Of course, I could fix the problem if I wanted to, but when I began the quest to remove the lightning, I was struck by it. I'm gonna take that as a sign from God. Seirai Island is what happens when Mr. Beast donates 50 megatons of ionizing radiation to families in need. Like, this shit makes Evangelion look like a comedy special. The fact that there aren't even homeless people here probably tells you all you need to know. Surumi Island is a very isolated place, populated for thousands of years by bird-worshipping savages.
Yeah, this is after I stopped playing, so I don't know this area.
So I can buy Dasani water and Cheetos. I just think it has something to do with the interdimensional dog. Watatsumi Island is really nice. Like, what the fuck? Does this even count as an island? It's just so beautiful. I sure hope it's not hiding some kind of horrifying dark secret.
A dragon. A ghost.
Oh, Enkanomiya is fucking Atlantis. You get there by jumping into the giant hole, and it's like, how is this legal? Are the developers okay? This place was once home to a thriving civilization, which collapsed nearly instantly after they discovered TikTok. It also allows me to toggle the powers of the artificial sun. And holy shit, this 5G connection is crazy. Look, I think you've got the idea at this point. As much as I've talked about reactions and children, Genshin Impact at its core is an exploration game because it makes you explore your sexuality, and that fact alone makes Inazuma one of the best areas. If you don't count the story, please kill me, mommy. I've been a bad boy. And okay, this nation might be lacking in housing, basic infrastructure and some unbombed land, but honestly, that's just part of the rustic charm. How else do you think
The
this
lightning
island got a
strikes are
giant
just
crater?
too
Be
funny.
glad you don't have to live in Inazuma. It's all fun and games until you piss off the geometry.
Not the spheres and the prisms and the cubes. The killer cubes. It's always a safe route to go for dangerous geometry.
What the fuck?
Because killer shapes are cool and mysterious. I do like them.
Alright fellas, for our next stop, we're going to enter the Weed Land. We need to smoke that Zaza and fall unconscious. And to do that, all we have to do is not be stuck in Inazuma. So if you were a fan of our undersea adventure, then don't worry. This glitch is much worse. All we've got to do is, whatever that was. I can't let go of the W button, by the way. Get ready to receive some Holy Spirit. Okay, so we're just going down to we're going
negative
to
Jesus.
Silent Hill now. Sorry guys, it
Walking
looks like we're,
under the
approaching
water.
Meltdown.
That's
Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Max0r.
That sounds harder,
One
actually.
second, guys, my mom's calling me. Hey mom, one second, I'm flying to get that Zaza.
What does that mean?
It means I'm low-key in a battle bus.
Sometimes I wish you were normal.
Okay, where are we
Is that his
going,
actual
boys?
mom? I feel like it is.
Perfect landing.
Zaza.
Hey there, my little Genshits. Welcome to the land of Sumeru. Hittite jump scare. The only nation in Genshin Impact that can use the internet, mostly for racism. Good to see that nothing's changed. It is also absurdly gigantic, like the map screen can't even see all of it. But before we can get into the intricacies of Sumerian society, I have to explain my team. The kindergarten.
Oh, this is where the
Nahida is. I
child
can explain.
comes from.
My girl at 10, but she is 10. Nahida is the literal god of knowledge. If you count knowledge as the personal thoughts of every NPC in Sumeru, which she can read, even when I log into Discord, there's no escaping her. Oh my fucking god, they're still typing it. How many emotes do these people have?
Does watching you count as a hobby?
What?
I've actually been watching you for a long time already.
Excuse me, what? Nilu has a completely hollow skull. There is nothing happening inside her head. She could not pass an eye exam. Sangonomiya Koko... Wait a minute, I've seen you before. But fellas, I've got something to admit. You see, Kokomi's damage scales on health, her healing scales on health, and yes, even her health scales on health. So naturally, when it came time to build her, I used the wrong stat. It makes the numbers funnier. Yao Yao is very cute and muddy. Her
I don't think I know this
chill
character.
and relaxing. In fact, you don't even have to play as Yao Yao. You play as her artificial beast given life. It throws vegetables at them. How many people would you kill for Yao Yao is not the right question. The right question is how many people I would allow to live. Personally, I think this team is really good for not having a DPS, and we are going to need it for all the funny and interesting events this game has to offer.
What was that? That was cool.
The best way to make money
Bug
is
Wars?
not actually the best your viewer. I lied to you. The best way to make money is not
Where's the Bug
actually the
Wars?
lethal minigame. It is participating in temporary event content, which I can only describe as punishment for developers who are too insane. Event content such as Prop Hunt, a game where you disguise yourselves as various household items to escape the wrath of very stupid people. Oh god, I think he's got a whiff. Wow guys, this is just like Genshin Impact.
Yeah, but I don't have to pay to see kids.
You know what? I think it's about time that I
Wait,
show
what?
off my winning strategies. Fellas, I've got a good feeling about this one. All we've got to do is Yep. Next, you gotta do this. He will never find me this way.
How the hell?
Does he know? Oh my god,
This
he
is
doesn't know.
impossible.
Wait a second, no. Alright, fellas, I got a plan for this map. We're just gonna stand here. He has no clue. I can't. Why is it working like this? I'm sorry, guys. Looking up is really hard. I am torturing this man. You could say that he's among us. We also have event content like the boat minigame. I'm having
This
so
looks
much
boring.
fun with the boat minigame. The Pokemon Tournament arc. What is happening on my screen? Does that man have a fucking gun? The beetle cockfighting. I've always wanted to beat a child.
Dude, what is
And my
this?
personal favorite, Chinese New
Bug
Year.
fights.
Because
That's
it
so
makes me the
cool.
most money.
I used to do that when I was a
Just,
kid.
Don't look up any of the cutscenes.
Let's go! Hey, you butterfly. You too, buzzing by. Got in your way.
What the fuck? You know, Hu Tao, I
What?
think you've got some hidden talent.
Is she rapping?
Please keep it hidden. That rap wasn't released. It fucking escaped.
Look, I like you, Hu Tao, but don't do that ever again, please. Please.
Kai, you
What
gotta watch
the
out.
hell?
You're rolling to the ragging too much. Sumeru is an autocratic Orwellian surveillance state with a little hint of apartheid, governed by the worst organization imaginable. University. This nation is the land of knowledge, with most of it being devoted to new, more efficient ways to be racist. And to that end, Sumeru is segregated between two distinct parts, each with their own unique ways to kill you. The
More
forest
geometry.
is a terrifying safari hellscape, where each animal is not only able to kill you, but is evolved to. We've got tigers, cows, crocodiles, robot dinosaur, fungus dinosaur.
No monsters. That's
to
cool.
Jurassic Park. And my favorite animal type, poor people. But most importantly, the forest is where the white people live, and they're filling the library with video essays. This is the academia who control Sumeru by
The worst
spreading
kind of
misinformation on the
content.
internet. Raiden, the academia doesn't want you to know this, but you can steal ducks from the public park. They're free, Raiden. The desert is a desolate, abandoned...
I've always wondered if that's actually true. Like, could you just take the ducks? Like, I feel like they wouldn't like that very much. Or do they own the ducks? Or do the ducks come just because it's like a good habitat? I've never really known the truth.
Abandoned wasteland, once home to a thriving civilization. Before the Caucasoids built a giant wall between them.
Caucasoids?
Does anyone else think this is weird? We've got scorpions. We've got scorpiouts. Welcome.
Did they add wall climbing to the game, like wall running?
Never mind. So is he gonna like okay, and we've got worm demons. But my personal favorite obstacle is definitely the gigantic fuck-off laser. There are, of course, even more enemies, but most of them are just liberal propaganda to make you believe that race mixing is a physical need. And fellas, it's working. But hey, the desert isn't all that bad, as long as you ignore the racist genie quest. Motherfucker graduated from casual to competitive racism.
Alright, later, Max.
What? Wait.
I gotta go AFK real quick.
No, you can't do this to me. Look, the point is, Sumeru is massive.
You know how much
and
I
it's not even
sacrificed?
done. And also, Leeway isn't done. And also Mondstadt. Yeah. But what Sumeru does have is an actually good story. Like, out of all the things I expected, Harvard building an Evangelion was not one of them.
Shinji! Get the fuck out of the Eva right now!
You can't tell me what to do anymore, Mom. I'm finally inside of another man.
Shinji, what the fuck?
How important is Skara to the lore?
Knowing God.
He seems
Jesus
like
Christ,
very
they really
popular.
made this boss fight. Mobile
strong.
game, by the way. So whether you're exploring deep in the woods at
Mobile
4 a.m.,
game?
finding amazing
I'm not playing that on
oases,
mobile.
God, I sure hope nothing whimsical happens here. Fighting more minorities.
I'll drain my battery.
Police officer, or doing the 8-hour gnome people quest. That is
Gnome people.
That's a lot of side quests.
That's so cute.
There will always be a new surprise in Sumeru, and if future content is even a fraction as good as this, then I'm going to be playing this game for a very long time. Because, you know, I wasn't doing that already.
Wait, how many hours?
Very long time. Because, you know, I wasn't doing that already.
Okay. He doesn't have 9,000 hours. So my question with this game, like, for people that, like, I don't know, is this game gonna be receiving, like, as much update and love as it does get right now? Because I know they got, like, how many other games do these guys got, MiHoYo? There's, like, 2 dupes of this game? I don't know which game is getting, like, the most love. I know one of the newer ones is getting a lot more attention. I don't know, like, are they gonna not update this one as much? Are they gonna go all in on that one? Or they have enough money to go all in on both of them? Very, interesting situation. Because I thought this would be like the breadwinner.
What the fuck?
Keep on updating this game.
Where are you going? This man is fucking tweaking out right now.
Keep updating Genshin. I did not expect another game by MiHoYo or whatever.
You know what, guys, before I go, I want to give you all a fun tip that most Genshin players don't know. The age of consent is 18 years old.
A shoulder for the past, let out the cries in prison.
Genshin. I like the characters, but I do not miss the gameplay. I would recommend quitting if you play this game because it is such a waste of time. Hey, but if you're having fun, you should keep playing, I guess. You should keep playing. Try not to spend too much money. I don't think I spent much on this game. I think I said in another video, I didn't get Hu Tao. I didn't get Hu Tao, so I just like completely stopped playing. Even though Mona was my most desired character, when Hu Tao was new, I tried to get her and I failed, so I just stopped playing. Good video, good video. I'm not sure which one I'll watch next. Probably the Doom one. Probably the Doom one.